All right, y'all. Good morning, everybody. 9/11 is here. Today is 9/11. Thank y'all for the troops out there. Thank y'all so much, United States troops. Um, Condolences to all those people that lost their lives in 9/11. With that being said, let me talk about yesterday. Guys, the Sunbelt has arrived. Okay, the Sunbelt has arrived. The Sunbelt. I mean, goodness! Thank goodness that Southern Miss went to the Sun Belt instead of staying in the Conference USA. Because if I'm a Sun Belt football coach, I would tell you, hey, you have a chance to be part of a team that could potentially be a top 25 team. That could basically what I would tell a player if I was the coach for a Sun Belt team. Guys, we had 7 upsets yesterday, and the Sun Belt was responsible for 3 of those upsets. 3 of them. I mean, you had Georgia Southern upsetting Nebraska. You had Appalachian State upsetting Texas A&M. You had you had Marshall upsetting Notre Dame. And I'm so happy that happened because they overrate Notre Dame every year. They overrate Notre Dame. Notre Dame can go 0 for 12. Okay, this year Notre Dame can go for 0 for 12. They can have a top 30 recruiting class, and they would still put them in the top 10 in ranking. That don't make any sense, man. They just overhype Notre Dame every year. That's why they always losing in big bowl games. They don't play anybody. So now they finally playing somebody this year. I'm shocked they had scheduled Ohio State so early in the season this year anyway. But guys, it's so much to talk about, man. I don't have all day. I got a coaches meeting today, and I got to cover the NFL. But guys, I mean, goodness, man. I mean, it is so much happened yesterday. All the fireworks happened. I want to talk to y'all about the biggest. Well, before I get into the biggest upsets, I want to talk about the Sunbelt Conference, man. The Sunbelt Conference got so many teams in there. These are the teams you don't want to play. If you are a fan of college football, and if your team play these teams, you should be worried. Okay, you got Appalachian State, that's a Sunbelt team. You got Coastal Carolina, that's a Sunbelt team. They went, didn't they go almost undefeated last year or the year before? You got Georgia State, that's a Sunbelt team. You got Georgia Southern, that's a Sun Belt team. You got Marshall, and you have Southern Mississippi. Those are all Sun Belt teams. Now, they have other teams, like Troy University, Texas State, Arkansas State, James Madison, and South Alabama. Those are also Sun Belt teams. But those top 5 Sun Belt teams, I would say, is Appalachian State, Marshall, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, and Coastal Carolina. Those are the top 5 Sun Belt teams that I have seen so far this year. With that being said, let's talk about the biggest upset last night or yesterday, basically. But anyway, Marshall beating Notre Dame. I'm so happy and excited that happened, man. I'm looking at the highlights now. Guys, Marshall dominated. They dominated Notre Dame defensively. I mean, Notre Dame couldn't even. It was hard for them. The score was 26-21, and Notre Dame scored a last-minute garbage time touchdown. It was basically over with before the last 5 minutes, man. I mean, if guys, I don't know what to say. Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, he's in the hot seat already. Notre Dame fans do not play. That is a very, very supportive fan base down in Notre Dame, down in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. That is a supportive fan base. He's in trouble, man. Freeman is in trouble. Coach Freeman, Marcus Freeman is in big trouble, okay? You can't go 0-2 in Notre Dame, okay? You just can't do it. And if I'm not mistaken, I would say he's 0-3 because I think he lost that bowl game, if I'm not mistaken. Put in the comment section if I was right or wrong about that bowl game, if he's 0-3 or not as a head coach. But as of right now, 2022 football season, college football season, Marcus Freeman is 0-2 at Notre Dame, okay? I'm hearing people on Twitter say the coach for LSU, Brian Kelly, was a good coach. He had to put up a lot of things at Notre Dame. He should have stayed, and they need to get Marcus Freeman up out of there. I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame is in big trouble. Notre Dame, this is not even the hard part of their schedule. I mean, Ohio State would probably be the best team they play, but they lost to Marshall already. They already 0-2. You got to play North Carolina. North Carolina has a splendid defense. I mean, Drake May, the quarterback for North Carolina, will put up some points on you, okay? You also got to play BYU. BYU beat Baylor, number 9 in the nation last night. Okay, that was a late game. You probably didn't see it, but it was a pretty good game. They got to play Clemson. They got to play USC. Okay, so, I mean, can you guys go – will you guys go 7-5 or 8-4 or 9-3? You guys are not – I would be shocked I would be shocked based on what I have seen so far from Notre Dame. The offensive coordinator and the head coach need to be fired. But what I've seen from Notre Dame, I would be surprised they go over 9-3. If they go 10-2, I would be surprised. If they start off 0-2 and just win the rest of their games, I would be shocked that happen. I'm banking on 8-4 for Notre Dame. I'm banking on that. But anyway, that is the biggest upset so far of week 2. The biggest upset. Marshall over Notre Dame was ridiculous. I mean, Marshall was all over Notre Dame running game and their wide receivers. The second biggest upset, we all know what happened. SEC fans, Appalachian State beating Texas A&M. All that hype, all that noise y'all was talking in Texas A&M, man. Y'all was talking so much noise. Y'all had the #1 recruiting class. Y'all had spent millions of dollars on these players. Jimbo Fisher talking noise to Nick Saban. Jimbo Fisher talking noise to everybody. He left Florida State high and dry, and look what happened now. He's 1-1, lost to Appalachian State, a Sunbelt team. Another Sunbelt team with the upset. And then they fired Kevin Sumlin. Okay, Kevin Sumlin, first 50 games. Look at it. You can go and look at it, man. Kevin Sumlin, first 50 games, and Jimbo Fisher, first 50 games. Kevin Sumlin had the better record. He beat more ranked teams, and he never lost to an inferior opponent like Appalachian State before since he been at Texas A&M. If you think I'm lying, look it up. So that's the second biggest upset, Appalachian State beating Texas A&M. Y'all was talking so much noise this season, man. Y'all A&M Aggie fans, y'all talk so much. Always, man, like y'all the best team in Texas. Y'all beat Bama last year. You hyped up about beating Bama. Then you got the #1 recruiting class. Y'all was going to win the SEC West. Then going to win the SEC. Then win the national championship. I heard it all from A&M fans. I'm sick of you. Y'all not good enough, man. Y'all might be another 8-4 team this year. How you lose to Appalachian State? I'm going to tell you right now, you guys in trouble. I'm going to tell you what you guys got on the road, man. First of all, your next game, September the 17th, you guys got Miami, and Miami will be good, okay? You guys also got Arkansas after that game. Then you go to Mississippi State at Mississippi State October the 1st. And then you go to Alabama at Alabama on October the 8th. And then you go to at South Carolina. And then you go to, Ole Miss come to you. Then you got Florida. Then you got Auburn. Look at that schedule, man. That is a brutal schedule. And you telling me y'all finna win the rest of y'all games? Y'all finna go 11-1? I don't see 11-1, man. I'm glad I didn't do that A&M schedule. I seen some people talking about A&M would go 12-0, 11-1, 10-2, 9. I haven't seen nothing less than 9-3. Okay, I actually 10-2. I seen everybody's schedule say 10-2 for A&M or more. I seen a doofus person put 12-0 for A&M. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Okay, y'all are overrated, man. And I tried to support y'all. I tried to say, man, I'm scared of A&M. They got all this talent. You can ask my cousin. I tried to tell my homeboy, my cousin, man, A&M is dangerous. Y'all not dangerous anymore. Nobody's scared of you losing to Appalachian State. Okay. With that being said, let's go to number 3. The number 3 biggest upset of last night was Washington State over Wisconsin. Guys, Washington State beating number 19 Wisconsin was pretty good. Okay, 17-14. That was a good game. Head coach Jake Dickert, good coach. He replaced Mike Leach not too long ago. Before Mike Leach and him, I think they had a coach in between that only lasted 1 year, so they got rid of him. But okay. But anyway, Washington State, congratulations. You guys get flowers for upsetting Wisconsin, okay? Number 4, guys, this is an upset. I'm still sick about this game. Kentucky beating Florida 26-16. If you watch that whole first half, the referees was all over that game. They called targeting that wasn't a targeting. They called roughing the passer like 2 times that wasn't roughing the passer. They was all over Will Levis. They supported Will Levis. I guarantee those referees got paid from Will Levis last night. The referees was all over the game, man. I can't believe it, man. Let the guys play, man. Let these guys play. Why are you calling so much, referees? Third down. It was third down in the second quarter. I'll never forget it. It was third down, second quarter. Kentucky had the ball. Florida up like 9 points, I think. And he threw an incomplete pass. Will Levis threw an incomplete pass, and he was a bootleg. And so Will Levis was rolling out, and the linebacker for Florida kind of, tackled him. And so he hit him pretty low. I mean, but anyway, but still though, man, the man was on a bootleg. He was gonna scramble anyway. They doing too much with this, trying to protect the quarterback stuff, man. What do you expect him to do? You hit him too high, you're gonna call targeting. You hit him low, you're gonna call roughing the passer. I mean, what do you do? And that was a game changing moment, man. We was up 9 points, and they're gonna say Kentucky with the first down. They put them first and goal inside the 5. Kentucky ran it in for a touchdown. I mean, that set the game to only 3 points. I mean, that was a momentum shifter. Okay. After that, Florida, after the first half ended, Florida never scored another point. The score was 26-16. We had 16 in the first half, then we didn't score. We was shut out the second half. I always said this. Now I said this. You can go back and look at my video from the recapping week 1. I said that Anthony Richardson, he showed me a lot running the ball, but he hasn't shown me anything throwing the ball. He hasn't yet to throw in a passing touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he threw a passing touchdown so far this year. Let me know in the comment section if Anthony Richardson threw a passing touchdown. But anyway, I was always worried about his throwing ability. He was throwing high, man. He was overthrowing his receiver all night, man. And they were open. They was open. It wasn't like Justin Shorter and the other guys wasn't open. It was open. I mean, goodness, man. We got a lot of work to do. We played garbage. Florida really played garbage. I mean, they played better the Utah game than this game, to be honest with you. Anyway, the number 5 upset, Kansas beating West Virginia. Golden Blue Dude, how you feel about that? Golden Blue Dude, how do you feel about Kansas upsetting West Virginia now? You said that y'all wasn't gonna win. You said y'all was gonna win. You said it was gonna be a piece of cake that y'all was gonna beat Kansas. Well, Kansas beat y'all 55-42 in overtime. Okay, in overtime they just walked you down. They walked you down in OT, baby. How you let Kansas, one of the worst Power 5 teams in college football, beat you like that? And y'all making excuses just because y'all barely lost to Pitt. Y'all want to hype it up doing the backyard ball, man, guys. You still can't. Y'all let the first week beat you. You can't let one team beat you twice, and that's what happened to West Virginia. They so worried about almost beating Pitt that they end up losing to Kansas too. Okay, so anyway, like I said, head coach Lance Leipold for the Kansas head coach. Shout out to you. Get your flowers for winning that game, upsetting West Virginia, because West Virginia was favored that game. Number 6 upset. I didn't see it as an upset, but Pitt was high. Pitt was higher ranked than Tennessee. Pitt was number 17 and Tennessee was 24. I knew Tennessee would win this game. Those of y'all, if you look at the Pitt schedule I posted weeks ago, I did a Pittsburgh Pitt Panthers schedule. I said that you guys will lose to Tennessee. I did say that. I was right about that as well. I'm right about some things, and I also will let you know I'll be wrong about some things. Like I was wrong about the Florida game, even though the referee was all over that game. I was wrong about that game. I also was wrong about the A&M game. Even though Appalachian State and A&M play like hot doo-doo garbage, but hey, I was wrong about that. Okay, I was definitely right about that Bama game. Now I knew Bama was gonna win at the end. Okay, even though Texas, I will be talking about Texas later on this video, but Tennessee beating Pitt in OT 34-27. That was a pretty good game. They need some new commentators. Those commentators did that Tennessee and Pitt game. They don't need to do that commentating anymore. It was boring. They made it boring, man. It was hard to watch that Tennessee and Pitt game. They was not enthusiastic at all. I mean, goodness, they was terrible. Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. What is Josh Pate talking about? Josh Pate, he be talking like he's Albert Einstein and stuff, man. Josh Pate think he knows everything. Now, I listen to him. He's right about some things, but he's wrong about a lot of things, too. I need to get on there with Josh Pate and debate football with him. That would be fun. And Uncle Lou and Golden Blue Dude. There's a lot of people I would like to debate college football with. But anyway, let me go to number 7. Number 7, biggest upset of last night was Texas Tech beating number 25 Houston. That game was 33-30. Guys, Texas Tech is undefeated so far. And Houston, they lost already. I know Patrick Mahomes is excited about Texas Tech. So, guys, that was a pretty good game, and that was a good upset for them. They was not ranked, and they beat a ranked team, Houston. Like I said, you had 7 ranked teams that went down yesterday. Number 8, guys, this was a Scott Frost got to go. Scott Frost, the head coach for Nebraska. You got to go, dude. Get out of here. You got to go. You are responsible for 2 losses in a row, man. Come on, man. Well, not in a row, but 2 losses, man. Scott Frost. I know you Nebraska fans are tired of Scott Frost, man. What happened to the Scott Frost that took UCL 12-0? What happened to him? Where is he? Because right now you got Nebraska looking like hot doo doo garbage. God, Georgia Southern beat you 45-42. It's got to be bad, man. I really hope these Nebraska fans are not on suicide watch, man, because this is depressing, man. This is very depressing. If I was a Nebraska fan, I would be depressed, man, because you guys have history of winning national championships back in the early 2000s. You guys were very good in the early 2000s. Now you guys are pushovers, man. You guys are weak. You guys are garbage, man. Scott Frost got y'all, man. Y'all should have kept the coach y'all had before y'all fired him. Scott Frost coming in there and stinking stuff up. But anyway, head coach Clay Helton, the head coach for Georgia Southern, another Sunbelt team. You get the flowers for that win. BYU number 9. BYU beating number 9 Baylor. Okay, that is my number 9 biggest upset of last night. They beat Baylor in OT 26-20. Now I did pick Baylor to win this game, but I'm not surprised that BYU won this game. If you look at my video from that Big 12 video, and I broke down Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas, and Iowa State, and Oklahoma, I did say I would not be surprised if BYU win this game, and I'm not surprised at all that BYU won this game. BYU was ranked number 21, actually. But anyway, Utah also beat teams like Utah and Arizona State last year. Okay, they did do that. Utah know exactly how good BYU is, and that quarterback for BYU is very dangerous. He's very good at escaping the pocket and making extending plays for the offense. So BYU, you guys got a chance to beat Notre Dame this year. Notre Dame is in trouble, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame is upset right now. Oh my God, they're fighting Irish. There's a fighting Irish mascot, man. I know you Notre Dame fans are sad, man. It's a lot of sad. I should have did who's sad the most this year. Nebraska, Notre Dame fans, A&M fans. I know you guys are sad for real. But anyway, next I have number 10 Duke upsetting Northwestern. I believe Northwestern would favorite this game. Duke beat them 31-23. So the coach for Duke, you get the flowers for that game. Duke might make a bowl game this year. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Duke make a bowl game this year. But anyway, those are the 7 I had in this top 10 biggest upsets. I had 7 ranked opponents that was upset that went down. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Notre Dame. Down goes Texas A&M. Sunbelt Heat. The Sunbelt brought the heat, man. I'm talking about the Sunbelt brought the heat. The Sunbelt brought the heat, man. I mean, goodness gracious. The Sunbelt brought the heat. Now I want to talk about the top 5 most disappointing teams. Number 1, Notre Dame. They 0-2, okay? Marcus Freeman's in big trouble. They lost 2 in a row. They haven't lost 2 in a row in a long time. The first 2 games, they haven't lost those first two games in a long time. So they are the most disappointing team so far in week 2. The second most disappointing team in week 2 is Texas A&M. You guys had so much hype. You guys were talking so much noise. You guys was hyped out that Bama game that y'all beat. Y'all have a tough road, guys. Like I told you guys got Miami, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Alabama, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Florida, and Auburn coming up. All these teams are in a row, and you're not going to win all those games. I'm sorry. I mean, you can bet a lot on that. You can bet against A&M a lot of these games, and you might come out on top with the betting going on with the money lines. But anyway, number 3, the most disappointing team, and number 3 is Nebraska losing to Georgia Southern. This was embarrassing, 42-42 to Georgia Southern, a Sunbelt team. The Sunbelt is red hot right now. The Sunbelt Heat. Oh my God. Baylor losing to BYU, okay? Baylor, that was disappointing. You guys should have won. You guys are the defending Big 12 champions. Baylor is the defending Big 12 champions. And you guys lost to BYU. That's disappointing. Okay? That's disappointing. You guys are ranked in the top 10, and you losing to a team that's not in the top 10. That's disappointing. Now, this is my friends. I mean, you guys might be shocked on this, but I'm not shocked. I'm shocked too, okay? Because I expect a better game. Kansas State beating Missouri 40-12. Missouri. Can Vanderbilt beat Missouri this year? Will Vanderbilt beat Missouri? That would be an interesting game, guys, because I don't think Vanderbilt would have lost that bad to Kansas State, man. I really don't. Missouri might be one of the worst teams in the SEC East. Okay, they might be. I know South Carolina can beat them. I know South Carolina can beat them. But can Vanderbilt beat them? Maybe. I mean, they'll be a good game to watch, and they will play this year. But anyway, like I said, they lost 40-12. How you lose 40-12? You got the number one wide receiver coming out of recruiting class like last year, 2022, best wide receiver in the whole nation. A 5-star wide receiver, you only get 12 points. That is a shame. That is disappointing. Now, my honorable mention that almost made it was West Virginia losing to Kansas. You can't lose to Kansas, man. They win 2 games last year, and you lost to Kansas, West Virginia. That's the honorable mention. But anyway, my most surprising teams. Here we go. Texas almost beating Alabama. They should have beat Alabama. Yesterday was bad for referees. The Bama and Texas game was bad for referees. They did a lot of bad calls. The Florida and Kentucky game, I mean, the first half was terrible. I mean, the first half gave Kentucky so much momentum and so much light that they was clicking on all cylinders in the second half. The defense was sparking. The offense was sparking. That's basically what happened. And when you give a team so many chances and you keep them in a ball game, that's what happens. That's basically what happened with Florida, man. That's basically what happened. Okay? But anyway, Appalachian State beating Texas A&M, that was surprising. I did not see that coming. But Appalachian State, I'm not going to be surprised anymore because you guys are legit. Okay, you guys are legit in the Sunbelt. They are the best Sunbelt team. They might go 11-1. Be on the lookout for Appalachian State. They will play Marshall. Be on that game, Marshall, November 12th. That's who they play, November 12th, and it's at Marshall. So that would be a good game between Appalachian State and Marshall. And they also play Georgia Southern on the 26th of November. So be on the lookout for those 2 games right there. Washington State beating Wisconsin. I'm sorry, number 3, Marshall beating Notre Dame. That was number 3, 26-21. That was surprising. I did not see Marshall beat Notre Dame. I did not think Notre Dame was going to be this bad. I know they're overrated, but I didn't think Notre Dame was going to be this bad, guys. I did not see it. Okay, but anyway, Washington State at number 4, Washington State beating Wisconsin. That was surprising for me. I did not see that coming. And number 5, Georgia Southern beating Nebraska. Scott Frost got to go, man. If I'm the athletic director for Nebraska, Cornhuskers, he's fired today. You cannot lose those games between Northwestern and doggone Georgia Southern. It's his fault for that Northwestern game. You up 11 points, and you're going to do an onside kick in the third quarter? What kind of stuff is that, man? You cannot do that. You can't do that ish. I'm fired up about that, and I'm not even a Nebraska fan, man. Golly. But anyway, guys, shout out to Jackson State. Jackson State did beat Tennessee State yesterday. I think it was 16-3. Let me double check on that score. That was I knew that was going to happen. I mean, I'm not surprised about that game at all. They did beat Tennessee State 16-3. Tennessee State is better than I thought. They got a pretty good defense, but not a good offense. That's basically my observation on Tennessee State. But good thing Jackson State came out with the win. Also, shout out to Mississippi State Bulldogs. Bulldogs, baby. Let's go, Hail State. Hail State, baby. We are 2-0. We just beat Arizona. You Arizona fan, how you feeling now? Y'all was talking all that stuff, all that ish on Twitter, and look at you now. Y'all don't even want to respond to me. Y'all don't even want to respond in the comments on Twitter. Y'all so ashamed talking about, it's going to be a late game. Mississippi State not used to playing late at night. You guys got to travel 1,000-something miles. Arizona's different this year. We're going to shock the world. We're going to shock the world. What happened? You guys took that L. Hail State, baby. And LSU, you next. We coming for you. We coming for LSU. Be on the lookout, baby. Hail State will beat LSU next week. Holla.